We've all done it at one time or another. We try to do too much. It might be because we have no choice. It might be because we can't say no. It might be because we don't think of denying others. It could be because we don't realize how much we are taking on until it hits us that we thought we were taking on a little hill and it turns out to be a mountain. It could just be because we don't think when we say yes to everything that it is requested of us. We all do it, some more than others. I am one of those people who can't say no. I am someone who, if asked to do someone a favor that I don't want to, will probably do it anyway. It is just what I do. I like to help people. My parents raised me to help others. Sometimes I get carried away, and in the process of assisting others, I forget myself. One time when this happened, I learned a lesson. I was a junior working on my undergrad. I had taken on extra classes during the summer so that I would have a lighter load when I was a senior. Taking on additional courses meant the extra time that was spent in the actual class time, as well as several hours extra of homework. My friend Cheyenne needed some extra help in her elective bio class. Being that that was my major, I agreed to tutor her and help her out with her homework. Cheyenne was one of my best friends after all, so it was only natural that I would want to help her. My friend Manu also needed help. He and my other friend Chuck had an apartment together. In addition to the apartment, Manu and Chuck also had Manu's dog, Murphy, and Libby, the cat, that Chuck's girlfriend had given to him. Manu and Chuck were going to study abroad for the semester. I agreed to take care of the apartment and the animals while they were out of town. I liked the idea of having an apartment for the summer semester. That would be fun, and again, I couldn't refuse my pals when they needed help. Since I was living in Manu and Chuck's apartment for the semester, my friend Alex had asked if she could stay there and study for a few days a week. She also needed help in a class that I had taken the year before. I agreed to help her. Alex was my best friend since I was a kid. There was nothing that I wouldn't do for her. And, of course, I had my job at my dad's veterinary practice. I had to make a living after all, and that meant paying for rent, paying for gas, food, and other supplies. Manu and Chuck had left money to care for their animals, but they wouldn't cover my rent, even though they paid part of it. So I also had my job. At first, I handled it all okay. I was able to juggle everything. Then my friend Monet asked if I could help with her pets while she went on vacation with her family. I agreed. Monet and I had become friends over the last few semesters, as we had the same major, though she was interested in marine biology, which meant we had a lot of classes together. Monet had 2 cats, 3 fish tanks, one of which was saltwater, and a lot of plants. All of those things need a lot of daily care, and Monet lived by herself. Naturally, when she asked if I would help her out, I agreed. Now, I had all my regular classes, my new additional classes, all the homework, and 2 friends to tutor, my own temporary apartment to clean, 1 dog to feed and walk and clean up after, 2 litter boxes, including Monet's to clean, 3 cats to feed, 3 fish tanks to clean, notes to write on my observations of Monet's saltwater fish tank, she had it set up for research, along with 5,000 plants to water, and my paying job at Dad's practice. After 3 days at this pace, I felt exhausted. I was always on the go. I had no time. While I was not a big watcher of television, I began to consider how great it would be just to sit in front of the TV and veg out. But there was no time for that. My routine was wake up, feed and walk Murphy, scoop Libby's litter box, water Manu and Chuck's plants, go to classes, go to Monet's place, feed her cats, clean their litter box, feed and clean the fish tanks, observe the saltwater fish, document my observations, water her plants, tutor Cheyenne, tutor Alex, feed the dog, feed Libby, do my homework, help out Alex, and go to bed. On weekends, it also included working at my dad's. After a week, I didn't think that I could go on. I was just beat. Something had to give. That Saturday, I accidentally slept late. Very late. I hadn't meant to. I turned the alarm off when I thought I was hitting snooze, and I slept nearly all day. I heard the phone ring, but thought I was dreaming, so I didn't answer. I just slept, and slept, and slept. When I woke up, Murphy was resting his head on the bed looking at me. Libby was laying on my pillow, also looking at me. I looked at the clock. Crap! I had slept through my shift at the vet practice. I had slept through Monet's animals. I had slept through my tutor session with Cheyenne. And I had slept through Alex's visit for tutoring as well. I had slept through all of that, and still felt exhausted. Yawning, I got up, got dressed, fed Murphy and Libby. I called my dad and explained what had happened. He told me it was all right and told me to go back to bed and get some rest. I closed my eyes and slept through the night and didn't get up again until late Sunday morning. I spent that Sunday watching TV and vegging out. I ordered a pizza. I also thought about my predicament. I had spread myself too thin. In trying to help my friends, I had forgotten about my own well-being. I knew I had to drop something, but what? I couldn't stop taking care of Manu and Chuck's animals because they were out of the country, and I was staying at their place. I couldn't drop my classes. I couldn't cut my tutoring commitments. I couldn't quit my job. I needed the money. Then I thought about Monet's plants and animals. I couldn't drop them. Who would take care of them with Monet out of town for another week? But I was too exhausted to keep every single one of these commitments. What I needed was someone to take over, something. I was not the only person who could take care of Monet's flora and fauna. Then I thought of my sister Ernesto. She was driving now and needed a way to make money. I called her and asked her for help offering to pay her. Thankfully, Ernesto agreed enthusiastically. She even agreed to observe and document what she saw in the saltwater tank. I felt relieved. I also cut back on my tutoring commitments to 2 days a week with Cheyenne. I invited Alex to stay with me at the apartment and agreed to help her, but limited also to 2 nights a week, but requested that she help me take care of the apartment and animals. To my surprise, when I explained to Alex and Cheyenne that I was overwhelmed, they were all right with it. Alex was more than happy to help out with the apartment, and she even offered to help pay the rent and for food and other supplies. I learned a valuable lesson about helping others. I learned that I couldn't help anyone when I was not helping myself. That summer semester, I overextended myself. It was not the first time, and it would not be the last. The important thing was that I was able to recognize it. Even though it took me nearly crashing from exhaustion, I learned that it is good to help others, but it is also essential to understand my limitations, and that I even needed help sometimes. And I also learned not to be afraid of letting my friends know that I was overwhelmed and needed help. That is important in life, to know when we need help. As the saying goes, the strongest or most adult things we can do is ask. I hope you liked the video. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you.